Hello there, this is Dana Arcuri, author, speaker, survivor, advocate, certified trauma recovery coach, and certified master energy practitioner from danaarcuri.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any new content. And if you are returning, welcome back. It's awesome to have you here. Today's topic has been long coming because over the past 5 years, after breaking free from narcissistic abuse and all of these toxic dynamics, including with the flying monkey siblings, I am seeing things now, 5 years later, in a totally different perspective. And so we're going to talk about some messed up myths, and we're going to talk about this one question that just comes up all the time. Are you a magnet for narcissistic abuse? Let's even open this up to any type of abuse. Are you a magnet for sexual abuse? Are you a magnet for domestic violence? Are you a magnet for financial abuse, scapegoating, and on with all the different types of very unhealthy dynamics? And so this is something that really does get talked about frequently online. And today I want to just give a little bit of feedback on what I believe, especially after doing the healing work over the past 5 years and after breaking free from my narcissistic mother and toxic flying monkey siblings. And so before I even begin to celebrate my 5-year anniversary of breaking free from these dynamics, we're going to ponder a few questions. A, do you think that you are a magnet for any type of abuse, including narcissistic abuse? Why or why not? And then let's just chat a little bit about my opinion today versus how I felt 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, I heard a lot of people ask, hey, are you a magnet for the narc? And I thought, yes. I thought I attract the narcissist. Well, 5 years brings a lot of wisdom, knowledge, empowerment, and education. And so now I believe, no, I am not a magnet for any type of abuse. No, I am not a magnet for narcissistic abuse. No, I'm not a magnet for sexual abuse and any other type of horrifying violence and despicable acts that are basically on a very low energy. So a lot of people's behaviors and actions will show up as their energy. Everything is energy. We can understand that. And so I'm aware that there's a lot of people who have very toxic energy, and I could sense their vibe and their energy even from a long distance, say social media, Twitter, YouTube. All I have to do is read your comments and I know where you're at in your healing journey, or if you've never even begun to work on your own self, your own healing, and so forth. And so the one thing is, when people start shaming us and blaming us and saying, oh, you attract the narcissist. Oh, well, you attracted that sexual abuse. Oh, you attracted someone who stole from you, someone who hurt you. And there's a lot of different scenarios, and just keep it wide open for all forms of violence and abuse. How I feel today is drastically different than how I felt 5 years ago. Part of it is because I have done the healing work. I have done the grief and the trauma-informed educational work in which I now see things with a new lens. And so when people start saying, you know, you are a magnet for the narc, or you're a magnet for any type of abuse, they're basically blame shifting. And this is also projection. So they're projecting their own lack of education, their own lack of knowledge, and their own false mindset onto you, who might be the scapegoat. Obviously, no, we didn't ask to become a scapegoat. No, we didn't ask for abuse. No, we didn't ask for someone to hurt us, to harm us, to violate us, to manipulate us, to gaslight us, to betray us, and to stab us in the back. We never, ever sought after any type of negativity, especially any form of violence. And so we don't attract the narcissist. We don't attract the sociopath, the predator, the perpetrator. It's really not even about us. It's about them. Okay, so let's get to the chase. The sociopaths, psychopaths, the narcissist, the flying monkeys, and all potential perpetrators, including rapists, they prey on people. They are so craving and hungry to keep that narc supply alive, or to keep their crazy making fetishes alive, that they seek out people who might have certain traits. So let's talk about the traits. You might be a highly sensitive person. You might be very empathic. You might be a whistleblower. You might be a people pleaser. You might be just a warm, kind-hearted person. Just, at nature, who you are in your essence, you're just a very pure, kind, lovely, really compassionate person. Well, obviously, someone who's a psychopath, a narcissist, a flying monkey, or anyone who's toxic and violent, they want someone like us because they know that we might be more vulnerable, that we might not call them out. And so maybe in our younger days, we didn't call them out, but now we do call them out. We see it for what it's worth, and we understand that if someone's gaslighting us and someone's projecting their BS on us, we don't have to sit back and take it. We could either A, disengage. We could practice the Jade technique. The J technique, there's a video on that. Check it out so you can understand what these acronyms stand for. But the end result is we're not going to engage with them. We're not going to explain ourselves. And we're going to walk away from those very toxic people. Next is that we can understand that this whole blame shifting, it is invalidation. It is definitely a way for someone to try to silence us, judge us, condemn us, on and on that goes. But at the end of this whole thing, like when we look at the big picture of people saying, oh, you are a magnet for abuse, you're a magnet for the narc, et cetera, this is basically someone who's trying to dump the responsibility of the perpetrator onto the person who's the victim. So you might be the scapegoat, you might be the sexual assault survivor, you might be a survivor of narcissistic abuse or domestic violence, or there's a widespread amount of different variables involved. But no, we are not responsible for the perpetrator, the narcissist, the flying monkeys, the rapist, the domestically violent person, whether it's a relative, a spouse, a partner, a friend, a family member, a coworker, et cetera. And so at the end of the day, I'm going to stand firm on this. No, you are not a magnet for any type of abuse. B, it's time that we hold all of these sinister, demonic people accountable, and they have to be responsible for their own actions, behaviors, and their words. And we don't have to get caught up in any of these dynamics, and instead we stay true to ourselves and we continue our healing journey and we stand up for ourselves. It's really important to do that, to set healthy boundaries and to really be in our own energy, our own vibration, where we are going to protect ourselves from these people who might dump these really messed up myths on us. So share with me, are there any messed up myths that you have heard? And it might be about the narcissist, the flying monkeys, it might be about scapegoating, it might be about any other type of violations, abuse, gaslighting, and manipulation. Share comments down below. Like this video. Subscribe to my channel. And if you need emotional support, reach out to me at danaarcuri.com. Thank you and have a beautiful day.